right. So, what is your opinion of flavored water?
Depends on the water and the flavor, but it's not terrible.
Like I'm talking about in general things like Propel, vitamin water, Body Armor Light, stuff like that.
They
Like,
they can be okay. There's some I like it.
mhm. Yeah, I'm trying a new brand tonight. It comes in a can. It's called Poppy, and it comes in like a soda can. And basically, this is supposed to be like flavored water that is flavored to taste like soda, and this is supposed to be grape soda. So I'm kind of interested to see how this turns out because it might end up tasting like a can of grape soda farted in a can of water, and that would, that doesn't really do
Oh
anything.
my.
But if it actually
Yeah, definitely.
tastes like, that'd be great. So, how did it feel to stick the final knife into Dak's MVP campaign?
Pretty good. I was watching and I was like, hey, that's pretty dog shit.
Yeah, that was when they called the penalty on 4th and goal.
Exactly.
But then by the end, you were like Charlie doing his victory screech.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but it was nice. It was nice to win in prime time against a team with a good record, and suddenly a lot of narratives that have been going on all season just got like literally that was the first game all season we played against a team with a good record, and it was at home. Like,
Hmm.
you can only play who's in front of you, but Jesus Christ, every single good team being a road game, like, you're not gonna win those fucking games, man. Like, what's very amusing is that the only AFC East team that the Broncos didn't lose to was the Bills, which is hilarious.
Yep.
Broncos are poo poo, and the Bills are even poo pooier.
You are not serious people. If we could get that Chargers fan on YouTube to become a Dolphins fan so we could make videos of Tua with big asses.
Somehow, finally, I thought I was done for. What's wrong? I'm fine,
And I could
but my
post the
friend remains
video
in
every
that
time
damned
someone
hospital.
mentions Jalen Carter.
I'm Rupert Brandon.
Right, guy, welcome to the
I'm a
stream.
medic
Thank
from
you for
Erin.
the
I
tier
came here with
1,
a friend to
14
look
months.
for a very rare species of herbs.
These woods aren't the best place for herb
Yep.
picking.
So we were warned, but the temptation was too great. We got as far as the site of the fire. No sign of herbs, but there was something downstairs. Something. What's that? Can you hear it? That's Grindley's dog. Feel that? Something approaches. Help us!
So, tonight may have been the final game of Russell Wilson's Broncos career. There's a very good chance that for the next two games, he has to sit there and watch another man run his football team.
We can only hope.
Find my companion, I beg you.
And I cannot believe how good Joe Flacco is playing, like, unironically, playing like a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, you love to see it.
I remember one time somebody asked Donald Trump on Twitter if Joe Flacco was elite, and Donald Trump actually replied to him, like seriously. Like he was asking a legitimate question and not just memeing. It was pretty great.
Which was truly fantastic, I agree.
They should not have done it. Madder than those here they were. Oh, the greed!
Hey, 12 man, welcome. Thank you. So I got exactly what I wanted for Christmas, which is what happens when you buy your Christmas gifts for yourself and just allow your parents to put their name on the package.
Right.
I know sounds like an incredibly dull way to do Christmas, but when you get to a certain age, it's the best way.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good, flip side. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. You know, everybody says that about The Witcher 3 flip side. Everybody worships Witcher 3. By the time I play it, it has no chance of living up to the hype. Like, there's just no way. Everybody telling me how good the game is. It's kind of like Cyberpunk.
Yorvith awaits you, Duan.
Be sure to speak to Yorveth, Geralt.
Where is he? He forced Triss to teleport them both to Edirn.
No. The Scoia'tael in Edirn will pay for my stupidity with their lives.
Elias, ready the unit to march. You'll leave immediately.
That's 2 days' travel on foot. You'll never make it in time.
I have a plan.
What plan?
First, you must agree to help us.
I need to know more before I decide.
No, Vatgern. You helped me with Letho. That's the sole reason we're speaking. We may both be pursuing the same son of a bitch, but I haven't forgotten the company you arrived in. Make your choice now. I'll let you go if you refuse. I couldn't do that later.
There was a massacre in Flotsam. The streets run red with your brethren's blood.
I know. That's why I need your help.
You want me to murder humans at your side?
I wish death upon every one of those Dwan. But that's not the point. Upper Edirne is our goal.
Count me in. We'll get Letho together.
Excellent. We've no time to lose. We need to capture the prison barge.
You
Yeah,
want to
Insane
enter a
Eclipse,
town
I've
where
seen
they're
that.
massacring elves? I take back what I said. You're not grandiose. You're mad.
My mother claimed likewise.
Okay, so you automatically fail all quests you don't finish when you go from one chapter to another. That's fine. I wasn't planning on doing all the side quests anyway. Ain't nobody got time for that. Watched most of the Dolphins game today. Their running game is so fun to watch. And that's not easy
Yeah.
to do, having a running game that's fun to watch.
What's really intense, like, I'm so glad that so many people were watching the game today, because I've been trying to tell people all season so many different things about the Dolphins, and they don't listen to me, they don't believe me, all this kind of crap, because they're not watching the games. Finally get an opportunity to watch the game, and it's a good game for us, and I'm all like, yes, perfect, exactly. Our offensive line is substandard. We have had intense amount of injuries to our offensive line, including today. Our starting center is playing center for the first fucking time in his life, and our backup is not a center either. They're just having to play center because of how fucked up things are. If this offseason in free agency, if we manage to pick up like some really good offensive line acquisitions and keep the core of our group still together, I would say we're favorites to win the Super Bowl because right now that's our only weakness. But our running game being as good as it is, in spite of how injured and also how inexperienced and also how bad our offensive line is incredible.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting here trying to think about how extraordinary the running game would be if we had Philadelphia's offensive line.
And also if you were allowed to false start on every play like Philadelphia's offensive line.
Well, yes, that too. But it's why when
At
Kane was
last.
injured,
The
our
trading post is
offense
in turmoil.
was really
Sure
struggling
this is a good idea?
compared
We'll
to
not
when he's
enter the
not
town.
injured because
We'll divide the unit.
Mostert
Take
is
my best
great,
scout and
Kane is
attack from the
great,
harbor.
their backups
I'll
are
sail
not.
downriver with
But when
the
we
others.
have those as a 1-2
Most of the
punch and they're
guards
the
should be
only
at the
ones
trading
taking
post.
snaps,
So we're benefiting
running the
from
ball,
massacre.
Not
everything
the way
works
I'd
fucking
put it, but
beautifully.
yes.
Right.
But when we have to throw Ahmed in there and he starts taking meaningful snaps, like the game is just over. Our offense can't handle it.
Did you see the new Ordinary Sausage video?
Probably.
It was 12 hours ago, the habanero pepper.
Yes, yeah, I saw it.
Pretty good.
The harbor could still be dangerous.
What did you expect? A tea party?
It's not that. We should trick them, as we did Letho.
We can't expect any support in the harbor.
But most of the guards are at the trading post. There's only a handful to deal with on the barge.
Fine. They'll be dead before they can reach for their swords.
What in the
Then we can signal the
fuck
others.
was that?
None will get away this time. All right, let's do it your way.
Thank you.
Skoyatal, Evelian! Vryed!
Vryed!
Follow me!
Yeah. So what games did you pick up, by the way? I know you said earlier you were checking some new games out.
Well, for myself, I got the GTA 4 Complete Collection, Red Dead 2. But for us to play, I picked up Construction Simulator, Medieval Dynasty, and I'm intending to get more, but that's all I got today.
Okay. Construction Simulator could be a great time sink.
That's my hope.
This is the place.
We have to get past the gate.
Anyway,
Piece of Lembas.
I'm going back to NBA 2K23, playing my Cavs Dynasty thing, and I forgot how awful the three-point shooting is for this team, and that's irrelevant because, like, the most time I sunk into was my Sonic franchise, where I have Deron Williams, Kyle Korver, Kevin Durant, David West, and Joakim Noah as my starting lineup. So I'm all like, I am not used to missing constant amounts of threes. Like, what the fuck?
Halt! Who goes there?
Seems like
The
it would be an
Witcher.
easy
I
fix.
captured an elf.
Some catch. That's Yorvith. Loredo'll piss himself with joy.
He ordered me to take him to the barge.
Ha! We're about to sink that heap.
Are you fucking
Right here.
kidding?
What? And foul the water?
Ugh.
No. We'll drown them down river.
Let's go.
Yorva's been caught. Close the gates tight. I don't want a flea slipping through.
Want to hear something funny, Gwynplaine?
What?
I made life for these Dwan a living hell, yet I've never been here before.
Now that you see the
They've
hell
got
you have to create,
Yorvath.
what do you make of it?
They see me for the first time as well. Yet I
What the
sense not a
fuck?
hint of
You call
remorse.
that a pick?
Should there be any?
I suppose not. They wish to watch me
Kill
die.
the
and I
How was that not a
die.
foul? What the
That's way of-
fuck? Yeah, like, we've taken 17 threes so far this game. We haven't made one. I have not taken a single contested three either.
Yeah. And you've already tried playing with sliders, right?
Yeah, these are the sliders that I've been using for some time. And I don't want to fuck with them anymore, but I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, man, like, there is
Other
no
side of
sweet
the
spot.
coin.
You either make too many
Can't
threes or
say
not
as
enough
my
threes.
philosophers in Oxenfurt who
Like-
never set foot in
I think
Floss.
Santi had found like some presets that helped.
No one's going
but
to die today, Yorvith.
I don't know if Santi's around right
the
now.
Commandant's paid lackeys.
Oi, where you taking that elf?
It's Yorvith. Larita ordered me to put him on the prison barge.
Just insanity to me, like,
Yorvith himself.
Clay Thompson
Somebody
is
at
my favorite
some
shot.
point-
Son of a bitch shot me brother.
Yeah.
Mind if I settle the score a little?
Stand aside. There's no time for that.
Why not?
I have orders to take him to the barge.
like it bugs the
What
shit
are
out
you
of me
then?
because,
An elf
you know,
lover?
the team is like
You
over
don't have to
2/3 of
follow
our
the
points
Rito's
are in the
orders,
paint.
But think what'll happen if you don't.
Sod it.
And of the remainder, the vast majority of that is from the line. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, no one's making any jump shots, and I just keep teasing. So I have my guys have, like, even more and more exaggerated, the badges for, like, spot up shooter, midi magician, 3-point specialist, corner specialist, stuff like that. And I'm like, and we still just
I
miss
like his
fucking
kind
everything.
best. Killing them is like pulling weeds. Strangely relaxing.
A simple thank you would do.
Oh, my manners. Consider yourself my hero.
And where might you be going?
I'm taking Yorvith to the barge. Larito's orders.
Oh, all right then.
And one, what the fuck?
Yeah, the last 2K I played Big Country, I think, was 2K15. So I'm way out of practice on 2K.
Yeah, there's still a ton of cheese, so you know, it's easy to get frustrated, but at the same time, there's a lot of good quality there too. So, what in the absolute fuck?
Wasn't 2K18 the one with Kyrie on the cover? Yeah, I remember everyone hated that one.
Yeah, even number 2K suck. That's why I didn't get 2K24, but 2K23 was like the best 2K game in a decade.
Yeah.
You go right.
2K25 is probably going to be really good.
I wonder if they have an option to make LeBron be a gay porn star.
Yeah, it is.
Squirtle!
His porn name is Buck Naked.
I'll beat the shit out of you!
Only now do I trust you.
Don't be gullible.
I'll beat the shit out of you!
Why would you want to beat the shit out of somebody? You get shit all over yourself when you do that.
I'll beat the shit out of you!
Oh no, what the fuck?
I think 2K17 had the baby killer on the cover, and that one had like crazy long loading times, but people generally liked it.
I'm sorry, one more time.
It had the baby killer on it, the hitman.
Paul George?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. To be fair, he failed in his attempt.
Okay, he's a crappy hitman.
You're right.
Only now do I trust you.
Don't be gullible.
I'll beat the shit out of you! I'll beat the shit out of you! I'll beat the shit out of you!
Love my Sonics franchise too. Deron Williams and KD, they were such a great combo.
Seems like with the meta being what it is in 2K, you're better off building like a really big team since jump shots never go in. I wonder if that would work.
I swear to God, I truly do feel like it's era-based, like it's based off of the years. And the reason I say that is because with guys with a 3-point rating in the 90s playing in the 80s, they can't make threes to save their fucking lives. But they're the most elite 3-point shooters in the league, and they have the exact same rating as guys like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, fucking Damian Lillard, other great shooters. But then, as you get further along in eras and you get closer to where the 3-point shot becomes a larger part of offenses, suddenly all those shots start going in. Because my Sonics franchise, early on, when Duran was a rookie, no one was making any fucking threes. He's a rookie in 2005. Right now, my franchise is in 2009, and people are making shots. Ratings have barely gone up. Like, Duran's 3-point rating has gone up, I think, 6 points since his rookie season. He's been in the league now for, quite a bit, and I swear to God, I think it's got something to do with the year that your franchise has taken place and not anything else.
Yeah. Makes sense. Get off of me. Get off of me.
You fight like a woman!
Only now do I trust you. Don't be gullible, Elf.
I'll beat the shit out of you!
Well, see, you see it in tendencies too. Like in the game that I'm playing right now, we're playing against the Bucks with Ray Allen on the Bucks.
Right.
Ray hasn't attempted a single three. It's the third quarter. What the fuck? It's Ray Allen.
You fight like a woman!
Only now do I trust you. Don't be gullible, Elf.
Bum bum.
So then, I compare this with my Timberwolves franchise, where I'm in like 2016. People are taking threes nonstop, like left and right, man. So many threes all day.
That would actually be smart by the programmers if they actually had something like that in there. Because if without something like that, then what is really the difference between eras? If you're just making like Charles Barkley make 8 threes a game, like what is that?
Right. So tendencies make sense, but ratings should still be the exact same across eras. Because it's like if someone's a bad jump shooter in the 80s, they should have their shooting ratings being like in the 60s. But if they're a good jump shooter in the 80s, then having that fucking rating in the 90s means that they should be able to make threes if they're wide open.
I hear you.
Black.
I knew you'd
Come on.
partner with those hate-mongers mutants.
Damn it.
Think yourself a hero, do you?
We cannot make
Sail
threes.
away, and I'll burn these sluts alive!
We sail. Our women are prepared to die.
Oh my god, this is a mismatch. I'm happy to see you try that. Go for it. There we go. You missed too.
But I'm not prepared to let murder
They
happen.
can't make threes
I'm going
either.
ashore.
Blessed one.
Don't harm me! Save the
Ray Allen
elven
making a
women
tough
with her.
jump shot in Tony
Commandant
Allen's face.
Lorito's gone
That
mad.
makes sense.
You
That is Ray
fight
Allen's
like a
face.
woman, blow it.
I can
Witcher's
accept
in
that.
the right.
Whoa! Why would you lay it up so weakly? Just handing the fucking block. I
So
am so tired of not making a free. I'm cheesing the sliders. Fuck it. This is insanity.
I was thinking about that thing you said earlier today about how some people can only think 15 minutes ahead.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how easy it is for me to delay gratification. Like, I feel like I do a really good job of delaying gratification. The one exception might be with something like food, but even that, I don't think it's that bad. Like, I can delay gratification there too, most of the time. And I was just thinking about, like, you know, the kind of person who can't do it. It's just so weird to me, you know?
No.
Where's Laredo?
He's escaped.
Gwynblade! Laredo's calling for reinforcements! We must sail!
The tower's on fire. We have to jump.
Unbind us.
There we go. I was just so tired of not making any threes. I just teased to make sure that we'd make two by putting the slider up to 100%. Like, that is just such bullshit, man. So now we're 2 for 19. Like, oh, sorry, 2 for 21. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, there's... I can't believe somebody hasn't figured out how to fix that.
Laredo escaped.
He'll not live long. If the local folk don't hunt him
Dolphins
down,
might
someone
save
else
us
will.
from having to watch
It's
Chiefs or
meaningless.
Ravens in the
You
Super Bowl.
rescued our
Maybe.
women. We are in
Please.
Help me find
I
the
hope so.
Kingslayer and Triss.
Also, the
Maybe
Chiefs are kind
In
of
that
like the
case,
wheels are falling
Tvergen.
off their season.
Prepare to set
Still big,
sail.
yeah.
The truth is,
Vernon
it is
Roach said
between the
I'd be all
Ravens and
right.
the Dolphins.
He's
who's
fine
gonna
if
make the
that's
Super
what you
Bowl.
ask. We met and chatted.
So the AFC
Imagine
Championship
that.
game is
I wanted
basically
him
next
to
week
know that he was only leaving because I let him do so.
because whoever wins that game is going to be the 1 seed.
The Temerian Special Forces, created by Foltest to combat the Scoia'tael after the First War with Nilfgaard. Veterans, professionals, the best of the best.
Oh shit, my
This is
phone
the
got a
end,
silver
Roach.
alert.
See these emblems? Temerian lilies. That's
does that
all
mean?
I lacked.
It's
I've
like an
defeated
Amber
the
Alert,
commanders
but I
of
guess
all
worse?
the special
I don't know.
forces in the north. Now I shall
Oh, God.
unite the Scoia'tael.
Finish what you started.
Oh,
I
I
shan't
understand. It's an
kill you,
Amber
Roach.
Alert for when the victim's a
We
minority.
Enshe never kill the last specimens of dying breeds. Live on and remember
When they're
who
not a
defeated
minority, it's a
you.
goal.
Remember, he can do so again.
Uh-oh.
That failed, Vernon Roach.
You're making a mistake, Hjorveth. I will find you.
Unfurl the mainsail!
Oh wow, he's wide open there.
We made it.
This is just the beginning. But you chose the right side, and I'm pleased.
Wish I could be so sure.
Wow, why do you do that? Why do they keep going for the layup in the weakest possible way? Just hand it straight over to the guy. My God. Give me a different animation game.
Had his day. Very true.
That by far is the biggest weakness of 2K23 is that the CPU blocks your shots too easily, which makes sense because like it's trying to, you know, get you to use the right layups in the right situations and, you know, play good defense on you and give you a challenge and all this kind of shit. But what it ends up doing is skewing the stats to a ridiculously unrealistic extent. To the point where you finish, you know, you play games and then you look, and then every other team may get like 7 block shots against them a game, and you're in the 20s.
I see them as scoundrels and murderers.
It's just so stupid.
Man, it's like the 1960s with Bill Russell averaging 800 blocks a game.
And his infamous bunch, who could prove highly helpful.
Yeah.
Helpful. That's not
The only other person who's even close is Will. He just blocks his teammates to pat his step.
Okay, I just got to chapter 2 of this game, and I just checked. There are only 3 chapters in this game, so we're actually making pretty good progress. Granted, I'm skipping a lot of content, but
burnt to ashes in minutes.
I remember the
I was
stillness
never
of the
intending on
news
doing
Vengerberg,
a lot of
the
side
palace,
quest stuff.
the streets, the houses, the entire capital cloaked in silence.
The
Fucking
cries
from
were
dude,
here,
Jesus.
every last man. I was somewhere beyond that hill, in the middle of the massacre.
What is your intention, Saskia?
I intend to stop Eden from being sold.
We cannot afford a war with Henselt.
Don't look like no virgin to
Leave
me.
I wonder,
issues of
what if
war to
2K25 adds some kind of
Concentrate on King
functionality
Henselt.
to
Jorgen
account for the
Sigurd
refs
claims he's
point shaving?
short-tempered. Provoke him to strike, and we'll negotiate once the...
Like, how would that work?
You just have your Connect on or whatever the fuck, and then every time you say, hey, what kind of bullshit call is that? Your fucking best player gets ejected.
Pretty much. That would work.
What the hell just happened?
What do you mean?
Just a whistle blew, and then the screen completely changed, and I'm all like, what, was it a charge? Was it a blocking foul? What the hell happened? Just 2K's presentation sometimes is retarded.
God almighty, my bench unit can't fucking make any shots. Oh my god, that's a flagrant. He clotheslined him.
Spit on the nobles, Prince.
Was that
They've
not a
meant
flagrant?
nothing since the day my peasant force scattered them on the Diffney.
By the good deity Creve, my lord. The girl is a demon
For that one
incarnate.
2K
Firstly,
that
the girl
connected
has a
with your
name.
microphone, and if you said
Secondly,
a
she's
swear word,
the
it would
best
give you a
commander I
technical
have.
foul.
All
What
others
would
have
happen if
betrayed
you
me.
said like the N
She's
word
a
or
monster.
something?
Creve spoke to me in a dream. I saw a snake-like
It would have been very based.
devour your heritage.
Silence, Olcan.
I
Be near the
imagine
meeting
that
place.
a lot of the players would have probably come over and started trying to beat the shit out of you. Would have been like when Abaka went after Ron Artest.
Welcome, Stennis, son of Demavend.
When Ron Artest went after James Harden.
Greetings, Henselt. You seem at home in Edern. You are here, yet I do not recall inviting you.
Felot did so in your stead. I'm here at his behest. I've broken no truces or treaties yet.
Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
Oh, is that so? Mr. Brogan, please escort Count Felot to a secluded spot and remove his troublesome head.
Don't you dare, boy. You're no king. Your father.
My father is dead. The folk still mourn him while you betray his good name and his country.
Your Majesty, I must request your protection. This young man has lost his mind.
Take him away.
Your Majesty, what of our agreement?
I need you no longer, Felot, now Stennis is here.
Anyone else wish to object? Wonderful. To the matter at hand, then.
Well said. I will show you my hand. I've over 200 armed men encamped nearby, enough to hold the fort for several hours. Another 5,000 battle-hungry lads await on the other bank. What say you to that?
What in the fuck?
There'll be 5,000 dead lads should you move against Vergen.
Take time to consider, boy. These are border marches, a mere piece of land. Relinquish it to me and you'll keep your crown. Oppose me and I shall crush you without mercy. Give me Lomark and return to Vengerberg.
Game is just getting a little retarded right now.
This piece of land generates more revenue annually than all the forests of the great Kedwen combined. Upper Edern is an everlasting pot of gold. Should I simply relinquish it? Or do you plan to make a purchase? Will you pay me with berries? Animal pelts? Will you send your armies into Kedwen's woods to gather mushrooms?
You're right. Better I send them to steal your pot of gold.
I'll not be intimidated, Henselt.
Perhaps. Is it possible you merely play the courageous cockerel, yet deep inside fear eats at your heart? Is one push enough to send you over the edge, or must I push twice?
Try me.
I'm tired of this discussion. I have the upper hand and no amount of scintillating talk will change that. We both know I'll not leave empty-handed. What do you propose?
I shall reimburse the cost of this foray and add enough to restore the luster to your palace at Ard Caraig. I'm certain our advisors can resolve the details.
That will take a great deal of gold.
Peace is priceless.
You want peace? Fight for it.
I'm not sure I understand.
You speak like a ruler, but words will only get you so far. You carry a sword, wear armor, and talk like a warrior. Now prove you are one. I challenge you to a duel, here and now, before these folk and the gods. Upper Eden shall belong to the victor. Ready?
Begin when you will, King.
Blood and honor!
Okay, so I don't really know what's going on here. But I'll be right back, guys. Okay. I am back.
Opposing one another in a chivalrous duel shall be Henselt of Ardcarreg, King of Kedwin, Sovereign of Cairngorm and Malior, last of the line of the Unicorn, and Prince Stennis, son of King Demavend III of Edirn, lawful heir to the Edirnian throne.
For Kedwin!
Gentlemen, begin.
Draw your sword.
For the king! For Kedwin!
Alright, we got his ass. That was easy.
Stop! Stop in the name of Kriv, Freyr and Melitele!
Oh. So Geno Smith led 2 separate game-winning drives today, and I'm getting comments asking, should we start Drew Lock for the last 2 games? Jesus
By the
Christ.
milk of Mother Creatrix's tits!
I
Geralt
would.
of Rivia!
Are you fucking kidding?
And are the best company to boot.
Yarpen Zigrin.
And that's Gino coming back from being injured.
Yeah.
It's been years.
People massively
you old prick.
overrating. Like, I
It's
knew
great
this
to
shit was
see
going to
you in
happen the
good
moment
health.
that Drew Lock
Geralt,
had the fucking
staring as if you've
game-winning
seen a
pass
ghost. Muster up a hug for an old
last
friend.
week. But the receiver did the
Geralt's
work, not
head's
Lock.
not exactly on straight.
That was a
Meaning
spectacular
you
fucking
truly
catch.
did in
It
full
was a
test.
very,
Fine by me.
very
Full
not
test was a
good
ploughing
throw.
niggard and a niggardly plougher.
Whoa.
You did right, Geralt.
Whoa.
Not the point. Geralt's lost his memory.
And I didn't kill Foltest.
Wow, that guy,
Right. What's the
this
difference?
dwarf dude
Someone
just dropped
did.
a hard R.
Well, we've bigger problems now.
Nice.
God damn, I'm getting banned off Twitch. See you guys later.
Love to
Where's
see it.
Saskia?
Oh, aye.
To be
Oh,
clear,
I'm at
he,
it. I'm
to be clear, he used the Bernie Sanders word. You know, the word that Bernie Sanders used that people thought.
yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Jesus.
But I was like,
Yes.
God damn, he just slid that in there like we weren't going to notice.
I've come with 100
Oh,
archers,
the
the
dumbass
best in
decided
the
to blow
world.
the fucking
We're
play
here
up.
to aid your cause.
Well, you'll need to
Ugh.
wait.
Saskia and Prince Penis, rather Skinnis, went off to parley with Henselt. Me and the boys are waiting in case something goes wrong. The sun's gone dark. Call the sorceress!
Come, Geralt. Saskia! Get Saskia! She must not die!
Yeah, George, we won the World Series last year in 6 games.
I had ChatGPT write me a story where Kramer helped the city of New York discover the true meaning of Christmas by accidentally inventing twerking.
How'd that go?
It was pretty awful, that's why I didn't share it with you. But apparently ChatGPT doesn't think that twerking is in any way inappropriate, so that's one that's something you could do.
I find it very amusing that you actually have to like negotiate with ChatGPT and you can eventually convince it to do something that it didn't want to do. Something
It's
very
really
weird
tough.
about that.
Yeah, it's really tough to get through the Q programming.
Mamma mia, that's impossible. God damn it.
Saskia! Get Saskia! She must not die!
Fucking hell was that?
My god, how many of these assholes are there? I want you to know that I use it in my private life many times. And if Boogie had just said that in his documentary instead of what he said, he might have actually gained some credibility.
You stink.
An owl!
Philippa, she'll show us the way.
Yorvith, you've got some explaining to do.
By Elrond's blood, wraiths.
Silver harms them. I'll cover you.
Marty, help me!
Shut up, Dwan.
What the fuck was that?
Hey, Scarecrow. No! God damn, those guys hit hard.
An owl!
Philippa, she'll show us the way.
Yorvith, you've got some explaining to do.
By Elrond's blood, wraiths.
Silver harms them. I'll cover you.
Marty, help me!
Shut up, Dwan.
All the little chicks with the period blood lips go, Cleveland sucks. Cleveland sucks. Thank God for this owl, man. Oh, God. In Big Country, I kind of feel like if the NBA cared about flopping, it would be taken care of by now, but I don't think they really care. I think they want to make it look like they care, but they actually don't.
Yeah, I can 1,000,000% agree with that. The easiest shit in the world to understand and know that that's the case. It's like, it's been a problem for such a long time. People have been complaining about it for such a long time, and they just don't do anything about it. Like, the closest they're getting to handling flopping is what they've done recently, where they turned it into a tech. But like, even that's not a big deal.
Right.
They know exactly who the biggest floppers are, so especially if there's a really key flop during an important game, just like start suspending people.
Yeah. It'd be over really quickly if you actually started doing that.
Like the 4 most prolific floppers in the league over the last 10 seasons: LeBron, Chris Paul, James Harden, Embiid. Knowing that those are the guys who flop the fucking most, all you gotta do is just say, okay, we're just gonna suspend those guys, and the fans will freak out because those are starts for their team. It will very much affect whether or not the team wins games if they get fucking suspended for flopping. And they missed out on a ton of money because they got suspended. All you gotta do.
And then just have the penalty ramp up where they say, okay, you know, if, you know, first flop, you get suspended for 1 game, second flop, 2 games, third flop, 3 games, and so on. As if they cared, but they've never cared about addressing flopping, because it's been it was introduced with Vlade Divac when he first came into the league, fucking almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
The fog's thinning. Not far now.
Manu Ginobili, one of the biggest floppers ever, he was like, what, 2001 NBA draft?
Something like that. That sounds about right. Maybe 2002.
I hate flying through fog. Saskia, are you all right?
It's just a flesh wound. You and the Witcher, we owe you our lives.
I'm here to protect you. And you, Witcher?
I'm after a Kingslayer who kidnapped Triss Merigold.
And brought her here?
Is this an interrogation?
There are warrants on your head in Temeria, Kedwin, and Redania. And I'm responsible for Saskia's safety.
That's enough, Philippa. You told me yourself you thought him innocent.
Saskia, folk are riled. First the sun went out, then the squirrels arrived, now this fog. It's too much for the common folk.
True. Summon all the commanders to the meeting hall. Yorveth, give me some time. I must prepare them for your arrival. Witcher, Philippa, you must be there too. I wish to hear what we can expect from this anomaly and how we might be rid of it. Worry not, Yarpen. The legendary White Wolf and the equally famous Philippa Eilhart should have
Manu
a remedy
was
for several
2002
hundred
NBA
rabid
draft.
raids.
Wait, actually, hold on. He was drafted in the 1999 NBA draft, but he didn't actually join the Spurs until
Cecil,
2002.
the gates are to remain shut until we're done. You'll
actually kinda
answer with
weird.
your beard if they open for
That
any
surprises
reason.
me for some reason. Probably shouldn't.
Welcome to Vergen, Witcher. I'm Cecil Burden, the Alderman.
Geralt of Rivia.
We've got a spare room at the inn. It's not much, but at least you'll have a roof over your head and a solid bed neath your arse.
Thanks, I could use that.
Scalen, show Master Geralt to his quarters, and visit Reverend Alcon's chambers on your way back to inform everyone that he has departed.
That is, that he died a hero, slain by the invaders.
First overall pick that year was Elton
You see,
Brand.
Master Witcher? He's young but clever. I'll
Elton
make a
Brand
real
is good.
dwarf out of him yet.
Yeah, second to last pick of the draft that year was Manu Ginobili. And he didn't make his NBA debut until 2002.
And I'll bet Spurs fans in 1999 were calling him a bust.
Exactly.
The Detroit Lions have won the NFC North for the first time in ever.
This is their first time winning the division.
Last time they won the division, it was called the NFC Central.
Wow. That's been a long time. You know what's really crazy? I was watching some basketball trivia history stuff, and they were talking about how in the first couple of seasons that the Detroit Pistons existed, they played out of the Silverdome,
Look, another one.
and they
in no
sold
time, you've got a swarm.
seats throughout the entirety of the Silverdome.
I heard
So there were plenty of fans who had to get, you know, tickets way up in the fucking nosebleeds who had to watch the game with binoculars. And now, all these years later, people watching Pistons game have to watch it with a blindfold.
Like, what would be a like sensible, logical reason to actually go to a Pistons game right now?
Watch the other team.
Yeah, that would be one. Cheap date night.
If
You're like,
because this when teams are actually complete ass, their season tickets are insanely cheap.
yeah.
So the season tickets for the Pistons must have been extremely cheap. So if you get season tickets, you know, you're not spending all that much money,
This shall
and
be your
now you get
chamber,
the
Witcher.
opportunity to go see
They
whoever
say
they're playing
Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before
for
battle.
cheap. It's
Didn't
the
bring him
cheapest
any
way to
luck,
be able to see
but at least he was well
lots of other
rested
people.
before he died. Need anything else?
And of course,
Thanks, Galen.
if you got those tickets, and it was for a big, you know, big moment, big event, like, let's just say it happened to be happenstance that, you know, it was the Lakers versus Pistons game this year is when LeBron would be expected to break the scoring record. Suddenly, scalping that ticket becomes really big.
Oh yeah.
You know. Matter of fact, I'm going to Google it right now. Changes for season tickets for the Pistons this year.
Mm-hmm.
The cheapest would have been $525. $500 season tickets to the Pistons. The absolute most expensive, so this is fucking like on the floor, fucking mid-court kind of shit. Season tickets for $5,700.
I could swing that if I needed to.
Courtside season ticket seats to be able to see actual superstars for whoever the Pistons are playing for less than $6,000. That's kind of impressive because I will compare it to the Lakers. Cheapest Lakers season tickets would have been $6,500 to sit in the nosebleeds, and $26,000 for courtside. Actually, never mind. That's not for courtside. Courtside season tickets are over $100,000.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Lakers suck.
So if you got courtside season tickets for the Pistons to go see the Lakers game, you know, the one Lakers at Pistons game that you get a year, you would be able to get the experience of watching the Lakers play at courtside and save $95,000. And if you'd have gone to that game, you'd have been able to see LeBron get in a fight again. That is nuts.
afraid of him!
Witcher, who's he?
He travels the lands, killing monsters for coin.
How's he got those glistening eyes?
Sorcerers mutated him when he was young.
Okay, how do we get over there? Man, that is hella expensive armor. Ooh. I may have to buy these swords at some point. Now, you know what I have to say to that, Scarecrow Bar.
But 9/11 was a national tragedy.
Every chin needs a clap. That's what you're gonna say, right?
Oh, a witcher.
Turn on the TV. What channel? Any channel.
There goes the PC.
Is 9/11 the last time something like that actually happened?
Greetings. I immerse.
Yes, because major events that are of similar caliber since then happened in the era where every single channel was not taken over by a news broadcast. But way back then, there was like max 100 channels. Most people only had like around 30 or so. So the shit, obviously took over every single fucking channel. But nowadays, there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of channels, streaming services, social media. Anything like 9/11 happened, it'd just be trending on Twitter, and you'd get like a presidential alert about it or some shit. Like, you wouldn't need to miss your cartoons. Rick and Morty will broadcast as scheduled, kid.
Oh God, you just reminded me.
Of what, the Bills game?
No. When Boogie went on the Caleb Hammer show to get his finances audited, there was one part where he was basically trying to describe himself, and he said, "I'm like Jerry Smith from Rick and Morty."
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, that is the perfect Boogie thing to say. Compare himself to a character from pop culture to try to make himself seem more pathetic.
Just, I promise to make sense if you just watch Rick and Morty. I'm gonna think about that every time I see Boogie now.
Yeah.
When he decided to take all of his clothes off on Twitch and got banned, it makes sense if you just watch Rick and Morty.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You miss quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. The prince duelled Henselt. They fought as equals.
Impossible.
And yet it was so.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon
What if,
covering
like,
the
Jesus
battlefield.
Christ rose from the dead and
For
came
any
back
who
to
still
life?
have
Would that
doubts,
take over every channel?
This is no mundane mist, nor
Like-
a
like
petty
Almost
fairground
certainly.
illusion.
Yeah, you'd think so, right?
Almost certainly,
likely,
because as every channel
we're
is
up against a
owned by
blood
the
curse,
Jews.
an old and powerful spell. We do not know who
I
cast it
was.
or why.
I swear to God, I
For
saw
now,
a fucking
I have one piece
screenshot
of
the other
good
day
news and
of
several pieces of bad news. The good news
like
is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time
not what the
being.
public can see, but what
bad
the site
news?
administrators
The
can see a
mist will
page on
grow.
the ADL.
It may even
and was
engulf
talking about
Vergen.
how
Furthermore,
Jesus Christ was a
wraiths may
satanic
emerge
figure who was
Can they be
extremely
made
anti-Semitic and all this other shit.
with
I'm
an
like,
axe
you
to the
actually
head?
sound like the fucking guys
In
who
theory,
killed Jesus.
yes, but I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
a question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war, ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,000 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5 to 1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria.
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers, here they are.
I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves. Not even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon.
He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf. Treason runs in his veins.
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorvith to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadweni for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorvith stays.
Bloody hell. Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay. You killed my men, Elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwen's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
I'm so confused in what's going on in the story in this game right now. I've completely lost the plot. It might be my fault, but I'm gonna assume it's the game's fault.
That's normal, yes.
Poison! She's dying. Take
know
her
who
somewhere
any of
safe
these
and guard
characters
her with
are.
your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking, I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadur, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Where will we find immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe, who succeeded in cultivating the roses, enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadur is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right, all right.
So does
Let's forget the rings.
Lord of the Rings
I need a vast
exist in the
quantity
universe
of, power,
of The Witcher?
No matter the source. Find something.
How?
An immortelle.
That doesn't make any sense.
Royal blood and magic.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
The game just made a very, very transparent reference to the Lord of the Rings. Because this character's talking about rings, and then another character says, "And one ring to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them." And then Geralt says, "And then I'll have to run up a volcano barefoot." So that implies the existence of the Lord of the Rings books in the universe of The Witcher.
That is called hackneyed bullshit.
Yeah.
Fourth wall breaking.
Yeah, like, how can that exist in this universe when it's clearly meant to take place in the past, like, well before those books were written? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, that doesn't work.
A poor one at that.
It makes sense if you just
no
watch Rick and
prince's
Morty.
kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable.
I'm Pickle.
I count on your help, Geralt.
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
Alright.
People of Vergen, we have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures. So anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia, and so it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. And now, open the gates and get to work.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Melifonwu. He was really interesting. He was very sea hockey in the draft. I remember him very well. I loved him.
Eyes like embers.
Morning.
It raised his hand and pointed a finger at... Greetings! Tents, thick as cornstalks to the horizon, banners whirring, a throng of knights, swarms of retainers. Good gods!
Henselt must be mighty cross.
Just our luck. He knows no mercy.
Where the hell is the inn? Oh, I think I know
There
what's
goes
going
the
on
piece,
here.
eh?
I must talk to you, Witcher.
Want to.
What's going on?
I'm Elias, of Yorveth's commando. I have an urgent matter.
Tell me.
Men from Vergen have been disappearing for some time. We recently found some of their corpses, so it doesn't seem to be desertion.
I need to see the corpses.
They're all buried.
Where?
Beneath a mound in the forest behind Vergen, but you shouldn't go there.
Why not?
Desecrating graves is a serious offense. The families of the dead will be furious.
What state were the bodies in?
They looked gruesome. Nothing an elf would have done, nor a human.
Only men among the victims?
Young men, humans and elves.
Where did you find the bodies?
In different places, mainly in the burned village near the ravine that leads to the town.
I don't work for free.
You'll get your reward. Do well, and I may give you something more than coin. We're losing good men.
I'll see what I can do.
Man, that Patriots fan brought an autographed Gronkowski jersey to the game. I would not bring anything like that to a game, man. I keep that shit behind
Absolutely not.
bulletproof glass.
Yeah, exactly. It's when, like, I have a Dwayne Wade Heat jersey. If I got that one autograph, I would never wear it again. I would put it in a sealed trophy. Like, my dad has a Tony Gwynn jersey. Autographed. He's got the fucking thing.
Hope things get back to normal soon.
Nice.
Sealed, you know, in a glass display case in his room. He has an autographed Tony Gwynn poster, an autographed Tony Gwynn bat, and he keeps them where they're at. And it's like they're not for touching, they're not for playing, they're not for fucking around with. If he went to a Padres game, he has he would just wear something else. Like,
right.
We haven't yet celebrated your raid into the
Fuck,
mist.
that is insanely
sorry. Where are my manners? Sheldon Skaggs, veteran of the
Zeman,
battles
yeah,
of
Zeman
Sodden
mentioned.
and Brenna.
And all ends
No,
along the
you
way.
have an
You've already
autograph.
met Vergen's elder?
Greetings.
Gentlemen, not sure about you, but my throat's parched from all these greetings.
Funny. Those were the first words out of your mouth.
Master Dandelion.
So I see some Gronk
Around
jerseys
for
that have been
everyone.
autographed
On me.
on eBay, like around $200.
I'll gladly wash
But
the road's dust from my throat.
They're only going to go
especially
up.
in such good company.
yeah, there's not a ton of certificate of authenticity for the ones that are
worthy
$200.
dwarf he
Usually
was.
it's like
Here's to
$400 is when it starts appearing that they have the certificate of authenticity, and there are plenty of signed Gronk jerseys that are worth up to
So,
like $2
what
grand.
brings you here, Geralt?
Makes sense.
Have you ever heard of a plan?
Have we? To tell the truth,
So I
I've
mean, yeah,
no
I'm not
idea.
gonna
It's just a
like.
saying.
You're the
I
only
am
one
not
using
gonna
it.
fucking wear an autographed
Witcher,
Gronk jersey.
the
I can eBay
immortal.
that shit
Philippa needs it.
A rare
for anywhere from
cheerio.
$200 to $400.
Is the mine.
Like at the least.
You're eager for this expedition.
I'm not gonna risk that thing getting
That's
damaged.
true.
What are you talking?
Not a month ago, miners started. We closed the shaft.
This
Looks
is
like we're-
stupid. Why the fuck would anybody
Let's go.
risk that kind of
Another
thing?
chat.
Let's meet at
People are weird, man.
Yeah. All right, man. I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. We are back. Okay, let's continue on for a little bit here.
It was very unusual.
What would be unusual is if you return home sober for once. You wouldn't trick me.
Alright, do I have an... Okay, I guess I have to go upstairs to find out. Alright, where do I go then? I'm lost. I'm lost in this damn inn. How do I get out? This don't make sense. It's such a simple layout. Where's the door? I want to get out. Yeah, I'm getting top 10 pick vibes as well. I admit. I don't know.
From what?
Jaden Daniels. I just don't.
Oh.
I just always am going to be a little bit cautious. Because, like, he was going to be undrafted before this season. And then he had this amazing season. And suddenly he's a top 10 pick. Like, I know that it happened to Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow's really good. But it's like, man, I'm always going to be just a little bit wary when somebody goes up that quickly.
Yeah, you always see this happening constantly all the fucking time, where people are prisoners of the moment and they constantly suffer from recency bias. Good on him. Be a good season, and now everyone's like, oh, you know, it's like it's great for him, improve his draft stock like that. But exactly like you said, look, he could go on to become the GOAT, and you could not feel any shame whatsoever in having passed on him, because passing on him is the right fucking move. You know, one good season does not justify you potentially risking millions upon millions of dollars
Witcher,
in your
I'm
franchise's
glad I
future
found you.
by taking a
I've got
flyer on the
something
kid
for
because you
you.
think, oh, well,
know each
yeah,
other.
one really good season.
So
What's a
surprised
fucking
by a
fluke?
stranger bearing gifts. Ah, you humans, egotistical barbarians you are. I was in Flotsam when the massacre started. Just accept it. I won't take no for an answer.
Thanks.
And as always, you also need to consider things like, you know, what happens when the poverty franchise ends up taking him. You know, could he have had any chance of being good if he got drafted by a competent franchise?
Oh, another
Another traveler.
Like, I really have to wonder, would Bryce Young
Let me guess.
look decent if he wasn't on the fucking Panthers?
From Temeria.
Maybe.
Had it at the tip of my tongue. So, what brings you to Bergen? Wait, I know.
Business.
Just what I thought. And you're...
A witcher.
Well, well.
Truly,
we don't
truly
often see
awful.
witches here. What do witches do anyway?
We solve problems.
Oh, I have a problem with my boyfriend.
Did you find his entrails strewn on the porch and his head a few paces away? Because those are the kind of problems I solve.
Don't bump your woman.
Oh, what? I've never heard that one before.
So it's really haunted now? It is! They should make it a mandatory pilgrimage.
Don't let her die, Vatkin.
I hate how some quests tell you where you need to go, some don't, and you have to, like, it's actually kind of tedious to figure out which ones do which. Which ones give you direction and which ones don't. No. Okay, here we go. Maybe I can do that. Yeah, I saw that, David. In fairness,
Greetings.
He only was off by about 1 second. They almost pulled it off. Bryce Young. So, at least it was close. Like, literally 5 yards less and they might be able to do it.
The Jaguars got fucking obliterated.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence had a concussion, and he tried to play through it, and once I heard that, I was like, I think I know how this is going to go.
Yeah. That is truly tragic.
And he made some throws that looked like a man who had a concussion, so... Strong username to post content ratio. If you know what I mean.
Pray tell, what compels you to disturb the Prince of Edirn, Witcher?
I have a few questions.
And you believe I should answer them instead of setting my dogs on you?
I think your Royal Highness has enough foes. Here, abroad, in Vengerberg.
The intricacies of succession are not something I wish to discuss with an itinerant monster slayer.
I need royal blood.
As you know, I've yet to be crowned.
But blood of your royal ancestors flows through your veins.
True, but that doesn't mean I'll shed a drop for some vagabond. Are you a witcher or a vampire?
I need it to save Saskia.
I need you to live. Don't bother me with such audacious proposals.
Penis head.
I'm trying to figure out where this fog came from. What exactly happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt's mages committed mass murder. A dark day for the knighthood and all people of honor. But it was honor that allowed us to survive. There was no defeat, no victory. Honor stood against wickedness, virtue against black magic.
You took part in that battle?
My father stayed in the capital. He was to defend Vengerberg. I took to the field. I wanted to stop Henselt before he crossed the Pontar, but I was too late. So I decided to await him at Vergen. Henselt's army was exhausted. We would have triumphed if not for that heinous act. Henselt had mages with him, and they cast a treacherous spell on the entire battlefield. A fiery rain fell from the heavens. Destructive, murderous embers which brought the battle to an end.
Yeah, Big Country, I was up against Brees Hall, so I never had a chance.
The soldiers were terrified.
I was
but
just
Henselt
dead,
showed
doomed
no
from the
desire
start.
to pursue.
You wrote Vergen off.
There's a place in Kedwin where orphans are subjected to cruel experiments. 9 out of 10 boys perish from the pain. Sound familiar? They say that sacrifices are necessary to create one Witcher, one hero to defend the people against monsters.
Not the best analogy.
You know nothing of military strategy, and you've never been responsible for a nation's fate, which is why I forgive you your ignorance.
Only a master mage could have cast such a powerful spell, and I suspect he could not have accomplished it alone.
I remember Sabrina Glevissig. Through the flames, I saw her observing the carnage from her mount, dressed in a hunting suit. Straight-backed, dispassionate.
Sabrina. If I remember correctly, she's Henselt's advisor.
Was. Henselt condemned her to death for casting that spell. The Kedwenis roasted in their armor, just the same way the Edurnians did. You know what struck me when all hell broke loose? What I found astonishing and even amusing? Going into battle, we sang our Edurnian songs. They intoned their Kedweni hymns to Creve. But when fire descended from the sky, our cries of pain were no different. We all wailed as humans. For an instant, the magnitude of the tragedy brought together our two warring nations.
I still have no idea where the spectral fog came from.
I'm afraid I don't know either.
Yeah, David, is this Titans fan on YouTube like 12 years old or something? That sounds like something a 12-year-old might say.
Be well, Prince.
I don't mean to be mean or anything, but that does sound like something a 12-year-old might think. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. Made a little bit of progress, but it's time for me to go to bed. So
Wait, hold on. You've got to wait 7 more minutes so you can say Merry Christmas to the viewers.
I've already said Merry Christmas to the viewers. Christmas Eve is where it's at anyway.
Alright, fine. Fair enough.
See you guys later. Everyone have a good Christmas. I'll see you tomorrow.